Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Lucy and I am here to show you how to make a beautiful bouquet of flowers. They would be perfect for Mother's Day, which is coming up. If you have someone special you want to give them to then, or just to make any time to celebrate spring. So let's take a look at the supplies that you will need to have on hand to make some coffee filter flowers. So of course we have coffee filters, the round kind, and white is preferable. I know they come in brown, but I think that the colors will show up better on the white. I have markers. These are not permanent markers or Sharpies, they're water-soluble markers. Then I have a little spray bottle. It used to have something in it, but I emptied it out and it has water in it. I also have a cup with a little bit of water in case you don't have a spray bottle. You can just use some water in a cup. And then I have a funny looking pipe cleaner here. Maybe you have some other kind of pipe cleaners that you could use as a stem for your flower when you're finished. Or if you have some wire, that you could also use that if you want to give your flower a stem, but that is optional. And then I have all of this on a cookie sheet because when I spray my colored coffee filters, I'm going to want to have them on top of something so I don't get water everywhere. You could use a cookie sheet or a plate or a big plastic bag spread out, anything like that, so that you are not getting water all over the place. So that is what you will need to get started in creating these beautiful, colorful coffee filter flowers would be to take a coffee filter, and then whichever colors you'd like to use on it. And then you're just going to start coloring. So you can just color lines all the way around your circle like this. You could do rainbow stripes, you could just do a couple colors, whatever you feel like doing. You could put patterns in there or polka dots. Just keep adding color until your whole coffee filter is filled so that it looks like this. Okay, so after you have colored it in, you might have something that looks a little bit like this. And now comes the fun part. We are going to get ready to get this wet. And there are two ways that you could do that. You can either spray water on it, or if you don't have water in a spray bottle, you could fold it up and you could put it into a glass of water, and you will see when you put the corner into the water will start to rise and all these colors will start to blend together. So I will show you what spraying it looks like and then what putting it in a glass of water looks like. On a cookie sheet, I've laid them out and I have a spray bottle here and I'm just going to start spraying water on them. You can see as they start to get wet, the colors will start to blend into one another. and sort of run. And the wetter you get them, the more you spray them, the more those colors will blend together. Just keep spraying until you're happy with the result. You can see right when they get wet how those colors run into one another. And that's what gives it that pretty floral effect. So just keep spraying. If you don't have something to spray them with, you can also just put it in a glass of water like this. So if you watch here, I have a couple of examples of how this works. You can see that the color is starting to, once it gets wet, to run up the side of the coffee filter. And I just put one color here so that you could see how this works. But you could even do this with a coffee filter that you have colored olive. Here I put a little bit more color on so you can see I'm just sticking the very tip of the coffee filter in the water, and eventually the color just starts to run up, starts to look really beautiful. Now I'll show you what to do with them once they're dry, how you can turn your coffee filter into a flower. So after you've sprayed it, you're going to want to let it sit on a paper towel or on the cookie sheet that you sprayed it on. And then once it dries, you will have something, the colors are kind of faded in this one, but you will have something that's very colorful, where all the colors have sort of bled into the coffee filter, and you are going to want to fold it up to make it into a flower. So the way that I do that is I have just been folding it in half once, folding it in half again, and then one more time. And if you want to give it some petals, sort of a ridged effect on the top, you could even fold it one more time, and then if you have scissors handy, you can go ahead and just cut the top. I'm going to round it a little bit. Like that. But you don't have to do that, or you could cut it differently than I did, however you want. And then once I've done that, I unfold it. And you're sort of just going to hold the bottom, pinch it like that, and kind of twist it around. And you can secure it on the bottom with a little piece of tape, or if you have a pipe cleaner handy, maybe you have one that's not striped like mine that looks more like a flower stem, but this is kind of creative. Kind of wrap it around the bottom a few times. So it looks like that. And then if you have a few of them, or a bunch of them, a big bunch of them to make a bouquet, you can put them all in pipe cleaners and you can give them to someone special. I also want to show you what it looks like, the one that I dipped into a cup of water. If I cut that, turn that into a flower. So this just has one color, and I just put the corner into that cup of water. I'm going to fold this one just 4 times, and I'm going to cut bigger petals. I'm just kind of making this up. Then I'm going to unfold it. It's kind of neat. Gather up the bottom, and then I'll either tape it or I'll put it on some wire and a pipe cleaner, and I can put all the flowers that I made together into a big, beautiful bunch of spring flowers. So I hope you have fun making some flowers out of coffee filters and water and markers. Thanks for tuning in to AADL TV.